Plaintiff Edward Conaway says the defendant moved in with him and his wife, and Edward had nothing but problems with him. Edward claims the defendant ran up his cable bill ordering porn and damaged his TV by punching it. And now the defendant lives with Edward's father-in-law, who's tormented Edward's wife for years. Edward's suing for unpaid rent, bills, and damaged property. Defendant Patrick Wildermuth admits that he ordered porn on Edward's cable bill and to damaging the TV, but insists it was an accident. Patrick claims as he was moving out, the plaintiff assaulted him and broke his rib, so he's countersuing.
Start with you.
Patrick is the reason why I'm being stuck by my father-in-law, stating that what he's telling me on the phone, keeps on calling us.
Calling you about what? About
Patrick's stuff. I told Patrick to come and get his stuff.
Okay, give me a little more background. You all obviously live together because you're suing him about rent, and now you're talking about him coming to get his things.
Yeah, Your Honor, I'm just trying to let you know what's been going on since he moved out. He's been calling and harassing us, saying I had his stuff still.
Okay, about the property.
Yes, and I told him to come and get all his stuff. And
you want to respond to that? You want to wait and let him speak more about his case before you respond? You do intend to respond at some point?
Yes, Your Honor.
Go right ahead.
We told them to stop calling us. My wife
calling regarding his property, right?
Calling property.
Did you have his property, you say? Did you prohibit him from getting his property?
No, Your Honor. He came and got his property.
So why do you think he kept calling?
To harass us, and my father-in-law was trying to get see my two kids.
Okay, and you all are prohibiting him from doing
yes,
something?
Your Honor.
Why?
Because he's physically abusive. He had beaten on my wife.
Beaten
punched her in his daughter. He had punched her in the mouth. He had broken her nose, and he did everything. And so I told him that he's not allowed to see my kids ever again.
The witness is the father you're referring to?
Yes, Your Honor.
So you want to state your name?
Yeah, Donald Cornetti. This is Babyface Nelson reincarnated.
How so?
How so?
Yes, sir.
Because he is a tremendous liar. I went and did background with his teachers. They said he'd never amounted to anything in his life. I did a background check on him that he had to go to a psychiatrist. He set his house on fire because he didn't want to go to a psychiatrist. He chased his mother around the house with an 18-inch butcher knife, tried to stab her 4 times. I seen the marks in the wall. The sister brought me in and showed me the knife busted off into the wall. He should be incarcerated. Now, he pulled her in front of him. He told her to play NWA. It's a very pornographic music, right? And I don't like to listen to that. And he told
gangster
her...
rap.
Yeah.
Vile gangster
rap. You don't know what I mean. It's filth. And I don't go for that in my house.
Okay.
And he told her to keep it up, right? And he seen me coming up, and he pulled her in front of him because I was going to hit him.
Okay.
Right? And he wouldn't leave my house. He wouldn't leave my door alone. I wanted to get him out of there. And my wife kept it up because she was hungry for grandkids. She doesn't have the sense she was born with.
Now, how many times did you mistakenly hit your daughter?
Once.
Okay.
Your Honor, that's not true. He hit her about 4 or 5 times in the face.
You want to speak to this
Take a
young
lie
lady?
detector test.
Or not? Okay. You don't have to. You don't want to speak on it? All right. So tell me how he owes you for rent and bills.
Your Honor, I would like to start from the beginning before we get to the rent.
Yes, sir.
Patrick has moved in with me February 2nd, 2009. In May of 2009, I had nothing but problems with him. He was ordering porn.
What was the agreement when he moved in?
$300 for rent. And we would split all the bills.
50-50?
50-50.
All right.
And the food, 50-50 too.
All right. Go ahead.
And he has been ordering porn, ordering movies that I told him not to. He ordered Sex Drive.
I love that one.
You like that when you say? What was the other ones?
Monster. makeup sex. I have a copy if you want to see it.
Monster. Did you order these?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
All right. I mean, it's not illegal. Go ahead.
Right, but I understand, but you're gonna run up the bill. You're gonna pay it. My bill has ran up to $300 and something.
All right. What else? And the rent? He failed to pay how much rent?
Like I said, I would like to, start from the beginning.
Go right ahead. Go right ahead, young man.
He had punched my TV. Then after everything went on, he had disappeared because he felt guilty, and he wasn't going to come home. He packed all his stuff. I told him to come home so we could talk. He had blamed it on my daughter.
The television.
My television, yes. And I told him my daughter cannot reach that far.
Let me allow him to respond to some of these things before I get back to you. Sir?
I never said that, Your Honor.
All right.
I never mentioned anything about his daughter that night.
Okay. Why'd you break the television?
It was an accident.
No, Your Honor. He said he'd thrown Finding Nemo into my TV.
Okay.
But like I said, I have pictures. I have everything.
Picture. None of this happened. You say the television was an accident. How?
Yes.
How so?
I was just playing with his daughter, and I went to throw the Finding Nemo up the steps, and I was swinging sideways, and it came into the TV.
You did a job on it, that's for sure. What are these other pictures?
My window. I had a birthday party for my daughter. She turned 3, and he got mad, and he didn't have his key, and he had tried to come into my basement. He broke my basement window.
Sir, what do you say to that?
I had lost my key previously to that. I was trying to open the window safely without breaking it, and I pushed a little too hard and broke.
Why don't you think you should pay for all these things?
I don't think I owe him nothing.
That's what I say. Why?
May I shed some light on the situation? Right, this man only gets $205 a month to live on. He
Your
took
Honor,
all of his money, wouldn't feed him, let him eat scraps and leftovers and the thing, treat him like a Cinderella, made him clean the house every day, got him up at 8 o'clock in the morning, made him clean the house, stole the key off him and made it look like that he lost the key so he wouldn't get in the house. He's also got a DVD video of what he did to him in the basement.
You do?
Yes.
Okay, and that's
Talk about
pursuant
that
to
now.
the assault you countersuing
Yes.
for. Well, let's jump to that. What happened?
Right. I came over to get my belongings. I was in the basement. He came out of nowhere and started beating me up in his basement. He broke my rib.
Why did he do that? Because you all were in a dispute regarding the rent or the window, the damage, or
This
what?
is the truth. The agreement that he has, I didn't write it until July. I didn't write it in February.
What agreement? You have something?
Yes, I have 3
Well,
notes.
explaining your cases very well. I moved in February and have not paid anything. All right, here's one you agree. So what are you saying?
I was forced to write those.
Yeah.
And he would not let me leave his house until
Forced
those
how,
were written.
sir?
He was not going to let me leave his house.
Threatening to harm you when he stepped in the doorway? What do you mean,
Your
sir?
Honor, that's not true.
You have to give me a little better description of what happened.
Can I shed some light on this too?
Yes, sir.
He was in the house trying to get his stuff out. He went down the basement. He came out of nowhere, knocked him out. When he woke up, he had a knife through his throat,
Your Honor, that's...
which you see the knife mark on the video that was made. Fingerprints here, right, and here that he strangled. Told him if he didn't write, he was going to slice his throat from ear to ear. Like the same thing when he chased his mother around the house with a knife, right? He was going to kill him if he didn't write down what he wanted him to write so he could leave the house.
Let's look at the video. See if I see any of these marks that you're referring to.
I see the rib there. The rib is definitely broke because I looked at the x-ray. I know how to read x-rays. It's cracked. There's a mark. See the thing where he grabbed him with his thumb on the neck? See the 2 finger marks they squeezed in his throat?
Sir, what do you say to the assault?
Well, Your Honor, we had got into a fist fight, me and him.
Describe how and when and why.
I had went down the basement because he was
While he was
off.
moving his things?
Yes. He was mouthing off to my wife because I was upstairs and I heard it all the way upstairs. I came down in the basement. I asked him what's going on. And he was like, he's mad because he had to move out. He pushed me. He pushed me into his TV. And then we got up, I got up, and started fist fighting. Ain't my fault, Your Honor, that I won.
Sir, did you call the police?
When I got back to his house that night,
You called the police?
yes,
They came out?
yes,
Did you show them your marks?
yes,
Did they press charges against him?
no.
Why?
It was only aggravated assault. It wasn't.
That's
no.
enough to press charges. Do you have the police report?
No.
You want to speak again, sir?
Yes. Well, one, it was out of the district. It happened in 24th, 25th district. We live in the 2nd and 15th, right? That's one of the reasons. Another reason is because they said he didn't draw blood. And they talked to the chief of detectives down there and they said it because he didn't draw
Do you
blood.
have any
they didn't lock him
evidence
up.
or statements regarding that? Because none of that sounds like any type of law enforcement procedure. And you say that you were down on the ground when he had the knife to your throat and told you to sign these agreements?
Yes.
You wrote 3 paragraphs while on the ground with a knife to your throat?
Yes.
Sir, do you have any other evidence? But this speaks for itself. He says that he doesn't owe because you put a knife to his throat and made him sign these things. And his lawyer says that he doesn't have to. His lawyer says that you tried the police and the police said unless he drew blood, then there was no cause of action, even though we saw what appeared to be damage to your ribs, we saw what appeared to be injury to your neck. All of that is true. He says it was a result of mutual combat. I don't know what caused it. All I do know is you signed these. Therefore, I'm going to grant your judgment, sir, $4,520. And if you're not satisfied with the judgment, you can have your lawyer appeal. All right? Have a good day.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I would just say that she should get away from him because she doesn't have the brain she was born with to stay with him.
My dad never liked him ever since the first time I went out with him. He had a grudge against him from the first time. My mom has no problem with him.
Oh, yes, she does.